repercussions. My style is drum rushing.
So essentially what you do, you basically come to where the pedals are like this, and then you grab the bike, like come over it, and then just jump. So let me see. Like that. You think you can do that? All right, now tighten up your helmet. So make sure your pedals are like even, so your legs are even. There you go. And then go over the bars, and now try to jump. There you go. And then what you got to do is make sure that you're a little bit light on the back and a little bit over the front, so that you can bring the back of the bike up. So you're gonna kind of like rotate it so the back wheel can come off the street. All good? All right, man.
It was Bikelantis.
Bikelantis is a documentary about bike friendliness. So I've been to over 20 cities, just riding, talking to people, doing all this, kind of outreach and things like that, and videotaping and photography, and kind of integrating myself in as many like bike projects as I can. Training as a bike mechanic, riding with people from other countries across the country, and it's just this kind of like wild personal project, that's kind of like picking up steam and becoming something. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. What's your name?
Will.
Hey, Will. Manny.
I'm for the repercussions. My style is drum rushing.
My name's Andrew Antonio. I'm married to my wife Sarah. We've got 5 kids, ages 10 to 2.5, 3 girls and 2 boys. And we live right downtown Lafayette, and started riding bikes. I started riding mountain bikes just for fun, and turned out that it was a great way to get the family around, go to the parks, go grocery shopping now, and eventually now I even go to work and do it all on 2 wheels. So a commute's only about 22 minutes, I think was my fastest time. It's 4 miles away. There's one hill, otherwise it's just trying to get through traffic and light changes. There's sections that are great, like we've got Heritage Trail, and with Heritage Trail we can get pretty far on bikes, both directions. And but there's other sections like Teal Road and most of 52, which is pretty scary. The fitness is great because it doesn't pound your body like running or other sports do. So I've lost probably more weight than I wanted. And then we just started seeing all the other natural benefits of being together as a family, something everybody can do, appreciate. And I think it gives you a sense of freedom too, especially for the kids. Like the beginning of anything, it's going to be tough. There's going to be times when they're going to go way out in the middle of the road, or maybe a car door opens up too close or something like that. There's been several times I've been just riding along, I look back and 3 blocks down are the kids like, whoops.
No speakers in the back, not a drop top, no rims on clean, renegades to lead.
Tell me about your involvement in the Starlight Rollers.
Starlight Rollers started, used to be Christy Miley Starlight Rollers, as we all know. KFM, and she started a Facebook group, and then we started a bike gang from there. And it kind of, the social dynamic of the bike gang eventually eclipsed the Facebook group, but it's still a great board to post on. We have a lot of fun on there. We also have a lot of fun, riding around, raising hell, riding day. You know, drinking, fucking, riding bikes.
So it's a bike gang in your eyes.
Yeah.
No speakers in the back, not a drop top, no rims on clean, renegades to leave.
It's a great store.
Oh, no, I love it.
What are you getting tonight?
I'm not sure. One of everything?
Cool.
So tonight we're going to watch Rad at La La Gallery, which is a local art gallery, a great local art gallery that lets us borrow their sweet establishment.
Hey, have you seen Rad before?
I broke my foot.
Where's your favorite area in Lafayette to ride?
You like to ride at Happy Hollow.
Oh, okay. Happy Hall is a cool park, right?
Yeah, because I ride around it with my bike.
Yep, me too. All right, thanks.
As I started getting more into wanting to cycle and also skate, you know, once my day was done, I would find myself kind of hanging out around the house around like 10 p.m. and just dying to ride, you know, but I wanted to go with someone, especially, you know, for safety purposes too. I wanted to ride, you know, along Heritage and dark, creepy trails and know that it's okay, know that I'm not alone, and that at least if I, you know, cry for help, someone will hear me. So I had been riding with our friend Tim a little bit already, and we were like, we need to get more people to come with us. This is so fun. We need to, you know, get more people. So I added him, and then both of us started adding different people, which kind of brought, you know, kind of had some different cliques converge there in this one spot and turn it into this amazing group that really became a huge part of my whole social life. I like, you know, waving to people on their bike and being like, hey, what's up, you know, and like ding the bell, you know, stuff like that. I mean, all of us had a camaraderie. There was the interplay of all of the different backgrounds, the different reasons why we were riding, the different skill levels. I think it just gives a really eclectic mix and a heightened state of energy. And, you know, you're talking and you're laughing and you're cracking up as you're riding. It's just amazing fun. And I think it's just the group aspect that keeps it together.
To truly make a bicycle-friendly atmosphere, it requires cyclists, drivers, pedestrians. So the cool thing is, you know, I can tool around town and, you know, play in traffic and have fun on my bike, but in like a matter of, you know, 20 minutes in any direction, I can also hit some county roads and some big hills and, you know, disappear out into the countryside for a few hours and have a blast and not see anything at all. I think there's always going to be an element of danger and stress that goes into riding a bike on the road because you're on two wheels, you don't have metal walls and framing around you, there's no seat belts, it's just you and your own body, and you go.
No speakers in the back, not a drop top, no rims on clean, renegades to leave.
So here we are in Boston on Monday the 27th. I'm about to take off from my brother's house. I've been spending a bunch of great days here, hanging out in Boston, learning the city, biking around. I recommend coming to the city of Boston. It's an amazing place to cycle. Anyway, I'm heading to Providence right now. Providence is about 40 miles away. It should take me, I don't know, 5 or so hours. I'm looking forward to the ride. And yeah, so this is the beginning of the biking portion of this East Coast journey. This is what the bike looks like. Thank you to Virtuous Cycles. I want to shout out the Starlight Rollers. Got the stickers all over the place, and we're pretty well waterproof. Hopefully we won't get too wet. We're almost ready to mount up and get out of here. I'm about to get on the East Coast Greenway. This is the Washington Secondary Trail. It's going to take me south. Basically, I'm trying to get myself to Watch Hill, Rhode Island, where I'll take a ferry into Long Island. Up until now, I've basically taken the one from Boston to Providence, and everything has been on roads, but now I'm going to be on a formal bike path for about 7 miles, and I'll be doing 50 miles today to Watch Hill, and then I might do a ferry over into Long Island, or I might stay the night. Apparently Watch Hill is a beautiful place. I think Fire Island is there. Anyway, we're just going to discover what this trail has. It's going to be nice to be off the road, and anyway, we'll be doing this here for the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours or so.
Bicycle, bicycle, better than a car. With spokes on my wheels and shiny handlebars. With the wind in my hair and the pedals under my feet. Bicycle, bicycle, fly over concrete.
So I'm in New York right now. The city is completely empty. It's Labor Day. It's awesome. Weather's beautiful. It's overcast and there's a breeze. New York City is pretty cool to bike in. There's at least a lot of awareness about bicycling, you know? So while there's a lot of traffic, people at least know that you're around and kind of have a sense of what it's like to have you on the road. So anyway, this is my Labor Day in New York. Bienvenidos a Bikelantis, here from West Asheville, North Carolina. It seems like there's not a lot of cycling infrastructure. There's a few bike lanes. People seem pretty cordial and polite, but it's definitely like still a car-centric kind of community. So I'm in Georgia, done 55 miles on the bike today. I started outside of Simpsonville, South Carolina, and I just now crossed the border into Georgia along 29. It's 7:21 on Friday, September 14th. I think I've been gone 19 days covering the Northeast and the South now. I'm gonna cut this ride just a little bit short of Athens, which was the final destination, because a friend is being kind enough to pick me up. I'm exhausted. I can't take sleeping another night outside. My friend's gonna drive me into Atlanta, and I'm actually gonna arrive a day earlier than I thought, and it can't come too soon or soon enough. Man, the South is beautiful, a lot more rural than the Northeast, obviously, but that makes for a lot faster cycling. I basically did just 70 to 90 mile rides from Greensboro to Charlotte to Greenville, and then or Simpsonville, and then Simpsonville to Athens. And like I said, I'm gonna actually stop in Bowman, which is about 20 miles from the South Carolina-Georgia border, and that's gonna be the end of the South. Then it's gonna be a very welcome car ride through Athens and to Ackworth, Georgia, where I'll spend the night with my friends or with my family, my sister, my nieces. It's exciting. So anyway, this is the sunset on the final day of this trip. This is what it looks like. Absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy.
We're gonna lead out north, so that's this way. That's that way. Okay? And then we're gonna go around the block twice, and then we're gonna head out. We're gonna try to beat this storm. I swear to you, it wasn't like this like 5 minutes ago, okay? So if you're looking at your radar, all of a sudden it appeared. So give us about 2 or 3 minutes so I can find Byron and block our streets, and we'll be ready to roll.
You just went on a big bike ride.
I did, man.
Where?
I started in Boston and I went down to Washington, D.C. and then I went on a train from Washington to Greensboro and Greensboro across into Georgia. It was 807 miles.
Any good stories?
Oh, a bunch of good stories, man.
Pick one.
My favorite was going across a bridge in Maryland with a police escort behind me for 2 miles because I was riding this trail all the way into Baltimore, and they wouldn't like the trail ended right at this bridge, and then this police officer like pulled up and pulled somebody over, and then after they got done writing their ticket, I was like, hey man, can you like help me across? I could take the wheels off my bike and put it in your back seat, which I'd done in a bridge in New Jersey. Anyway, he said, no man, why don't you just ride? How fast can you go? I was like, well, I don't know. Because I was loaded up with, bags and
gear.
everything. Yeah. So I was like 14 to 18 miles an hour. And he's like, okay, well, pedal hard. And I hit 20 miles an hour on the bridge and the sun was setting. It was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. Bridges are the biggest, the biggest problem right now for cycling across the country. It's like I
didn't even know that.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously, like it's expensive to widen bridges. So that's the only thing that is really kind of like lacking, but I'm sure somebody's gonna figure it out. So. What's up? What's up, people on bikes? Happy Easter. You look beautiful.
This Atlanta Streets Alive, I was on the planning committee for the West End neighborhood development. There's a neighborhood planning unit through the city of Atlanta, and I sit on that one as well. And so I'm active, very active in the community, and the goal is to improve the area, improve things for not only the people here, but myself and my son as well.
Happy Easter. Hey. It's quite the peloton, man. Who's gonna break away? Who's gonna break away? Happy Easter, y'all! Basically, I advocate for, bike friendliness because obviously I want, guys like you to have that opportunity to ride across the country safely, so people's parents don't have to worry about us and things like that.
Freeways are jammed. Even today on Sunday they're jammed. We don't have a good transit system, so biking is the next best thing. And not only that, but in terms of your health, to strengthen your heart and to give you add some years to your life. No, add some life to your years. That's a better way of putting that. And I've been doing it since I was 8, 9 years old. So I love the bike.
Somebody crank the Prince! You're winning the parade so far. Thank you. Nice dragon. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Nice bikes, everybody.
I recently moved here from Miami, where I was big into bicycling there. And I actually got into biking. I was in the hospital for a long time, and once I got out of a wheelchair, my therapy was to start biking. And through that, I got connected with this organization called Emerge Miami that was really big on bicycling advocacy. And that was very important in Miami because Miami is such a dangerous place to bike. But the more people you have, the more people interested in critical mass, you start to learn that cities are actually an excellent place to bike, and that there's no better way to learn about a city than by biking it.
Today you're advocating for the connectthecomet.org.
Yes, it's a movement. We're trying to get the Silver Comet, which is the longest paved trail in the United States. It goes from outside of Atlanta to the Alabama line. And in fact, Alabama's got a paved trail that continues it. But what we're trying to do is get the Silver Comet to come into Atlanta to connect to this phenomenal development in Atlanta called the Beltline. The Beltline is a 22-mile trail that would circle downtown Atlanta. A multi-billion-dollar project, but the projection is it will create at least 20 billion in development. And I think that's not a pie-in-the-sky figure. They've already seen over $1 billion, and they've only got 3 small segments done.
Atlanta is bike friendly?
I think it's getting there. I haven't really had the same sort of experiences. Like when I tell people who live out of the city that I bike around in the city, they're like, oh my God, that's horrible because Atlanta traffic. I'm like, but if you're on a bike, you're not really experiencing the city in the same way, and it's a different city, so it's not bike friendly per se, but like the parts of the city that you experience on a bike are bike friendly. Cabbagetown's pretty cool to ride around in. You get some people who tried to go too fast through the Croc Street Tunnel, but just kind of like hold your line and keep going, and they back off eventually. Downtown's a lot of fun too, especially in the middle of the day when there's a lot of traffic. Just zoom.
Yeah, that's my favorite feeling, right? Like,
oh, you guys are stuck in traffic? That sucks.
Bicycle, bicycle, how I love you. Bicycle, bicycle, things that we do. Ride around in circles for hours at a time. Bicycle, bicycle, I'm so glad you're mine.
So this customer needed new wheels and a tune-up, or what are you doing for them?
This is a tune-up, but it was a little more comprehensive, as we say.
Do Fort Morgan residents have the option to register their bikes here in town, or is that an old?
Yes, they do, but this is original plate. Nobody uses plates anymore, stickers.
Right.
It's kind of like head tube badges. Gone.
Yeah.
They put stickers on them now,
Right.
because they're so much cheaper. It's so strange the way that the Fixies have transpired. It must be 20 years ago that Kevin Bacon was in a movie called Quicksilver.
Love that movie.
Now, there's a movie, it was so good that there was a point where I thought that that would spawn the sort of thing that's happening with Fixies right now. But it just never happened. Look at this. This is my life here.
It's a good life. It's a good life. Even though that's disgusting. It does look like a good life, though. So this is where I spent the night. This is a room inside of a abandoned train station in Fort Morgan, Colorado. I was hoping to take the train and my bike onto that train, which would take me to Des Moines. But unfortunately, they're not manned here, so I couldn't check the bike. So fortunately, the station was at least open, so I spent the night. So today's plan, it is July 1st. Today's plan is to find a ride to Des Moines, Iowa, or somewhere west where I can meet the 2 ladies from Finland to resume the ride on into New York. And it's actually going to be straight from there to New York. Your milk, your Oreos. We're in Corden, right? Yay! And we did from, where were we before that? Leon. And we did like 24 miles together, right? That was our first ride.
Yes.
So these are the ladies from Finland, 2 cycling girls, right? Yay! Two cycling girls 2013.com, is that the website?
Cycling Summer.
Cycling Summer. Okay. And so introduce yourselves for the camera.
Well, this is us.
This is us. Well, tell me your name real quick.
Laura, hi. People, hi.
Excellent. And I'm Manny.
Hi.
And this is not our first meeting. This is our first video, though. So we met. What was it like? At like 3 today in Leon, in a park in Leon. These ladies were very afraid of me, right?
Well, you're a scary guy.
I am a very scary guy. So we met like 3 hours ago. Took our first ride, and here we are.
Got rained on. Yay!
Got rained on in Corden. So
Not cold anymore.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have anything to say about that?
No.
Still cold?
Freezing.
All right, let's go to the reservoir in Corden, get our tents pitched, and say night-night. This is what it's going to be like. Just me following you with different cameras,
Stalking.
different sizes. Yeah.
As long as I can be by myself when I'm peeing.
Of course, of course. You're a pro.
20 times.
Yeah. You're gonna get good at it after that, right?
We'll see. I'm kind of hoping no more. Better have a story. Yeah, this is my job. I don't want to be useless, but
You're not. You plan the routes.
Yes.
Remember? That's what the paper said.
Yeah.
But we're here.
Not yet. There's
Not
a big
yet?
uphill.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Oh no. Oh no.
We'll make it there.
Yes.
Yes, eventually. Someday.
Somehow.
You just repaired flat number 19, right? What are you laughing at?
You.
Oh yeah, with the camera?
Uh-huh.
You sure it's nothing on your phone? No?
Not this time.
No? So we're about to take off for Lake, how do you say it?
What? Okay.
Keosawa?
Keosagwa?
Keosakwa, yeah. You're the closest to saying it correctly.
Keosagwa?
Keosakwa. I'm saying that we're going to be there by 6. What do you think? It's 3:30 right now.
Sure.
Sure. Let's go for it.
5:30.
5:30? And you've been spot on as of late.
Okay, I'm gonna say 7.
You're going to say 7? Are you going to take some breaks?
No. Yeah.
The honky tonk looks so lonely right now. Or It so wants to ride, but it's raining. But it wants to ride. Look at her. She can hardly wait. She can hardly wait. I know. I know. It's okay. The rain will stop soon, and then we'll go. So it's the morning of the 4th of July in Kewasakwa, Iowa. I just murdered a couple of tiger tails and had some milk, and I'm being told by my Finnish companions that I eat nothing but typical American crap, and I say to them, I'm a hideous patriot. When was the last time you guys updated the blog?
Week and a half ago.
And that was when you were where?
Colorado.
Colorado. So you're updating from Colorado through Nebraska into Iowa.
Yes.
All right. And obviously the ladies are very patriotic with their
USA.
So yeah, looking great.
Happy birthday, America.
Hold on, let me make sure that I got video of this. This is beautiful.
Strike a pose. Thanks. Anytime.
So guys, tell me a little bit about your experiences in bike touring.
30 days in a row in the rain in England.
And that was where your first tour took place, right?
The coldest, wettest summer they've had in 25 years.
Right.
So we picked it. So, but we met the best people there. We're still in touch with several of those people. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The worst weather makes the best stories. Worst
There you
experiences.
go.
Yeah. If it's a peaceful day, you don't remember it because nothing exciting happened. So.
And so you saw our bikes on the courthouse square.
Yep. And couldn't pass it up. I thought we've got to see if these people need a place to
So
sleep.
I bet they don't have a place to sleep.
So we always chase down bike tourists. So.
It's very kind of you. Yeah, and this so this is the hand-built bike, right?
Yep.
Or custom-built bike that you had.
Yep. 1978 TET Custom Special.
So what do you say to people when they look at a Brooks saddle? I mean, you know, it seems like those that don't know that much about it, they look at those things and like, how could that be so much more comfortable?
If they aren't broken in, they're very
Yeah,
hard.
a new Brooks saddle isn't that much fun.
No.
30 years later, they're great.
Well, hopefully this visit by these ladies will re-inspire you guys to get on the bikes. So this is where I woke up, in the corner of a cornfield. So basically I just rolled back a few hundred yards and set up camp, and I'm almost cleaned up. There's the road that takes me to 308, and I'm heading east, heading that way on 308 for a while. Then I'm gonna figure out whether to go to Canton or Akron. I want to go to Canton, but these girls are ahead of me. They're in Youngstown this morning. It's 120 miles from me, which is a distance I can make up. Hope to be in New York and Wayne Scott in the Hamptons in a week. Let's hope it happens. What are you eating? Oh, you're done with it now. Just a bunch of sugar, right? No. No? Some energy stuff?
Value.
Oh, yeah. So it's Wednesday, July 17th.
Yay.
There's a lot of There's a lot of traffic here. But it's been a good morning, right? We've been on the road for 2.5 hours, and much easier than yesterday.
Yeah, for sure.
Even in the morning, right? I mean, yesterday morning was rough, really rough for me, so I feel a lot better. This is a lot flatter. There may be some hills coming up, but I'm awake. You guys have got your sugar and colored water and everything, your sugar mixtures. But anyway, we're going to Danville today?
Yep.
Okay. And we'll meet with someone from Warm Showers. And then tomorrow, is tomorrow the plan to leave at 3 in the morning or
No,
on Friday? Okay. Yeah. All right.
So tomorrow will be the long day.
Tomorrow will be the long day. Yeah.
We're going as far as we can.
I've done like 150 miles in like 29 hours. You don't get a single 8 hours sleep, but you can sleep in parks. And like as soon as you wake up, all you do is get on the bike without even thinking about it. And it's pretty exhilarating, especially like to roll into a city. Like that's how I rolled into Washington, D.C. And it was such a rush because, like pushing it to the end, that's what it's all about, honestly. I mean, you guys are almost there. So whatever it takes, obviously, whatever it takes, whatever you guys want to do, but I'm looking forward to this. All right. The morning on your last day.
Last day, yeah. That's all I think about.
You're riding really well. I think the pace is good.
Keep it better. If you stop, the pain will get worse.
How many days you been on the road?
56. Where'd you start out at? San Francisco. Wow.
Yeah. That's awesome. You like that balloon, huh? Yeah. Have you ever ridden a cargo bike like this?
Ever again. This
Never?
is my first time.
Yeah?
First time.
Wow. And so you're going to be hauling some rain barrels? You're going to be helping us out?
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Compared to like a conventional bike with the rear rack and then panniers on it, the weight on these sits lower than what your panniers will. And it can because it's sort of further back from the pedals, so it can be really low to the ground, still out of the way of the rotation of your pedals. And then it's also, if you have it sort of loaded forward in the bags, it's better centered between the axles of the wheels versus like a traditional bike with rack and panniers. Your weight is kind of directly on top of your rear axle.
But you know, when you get going on something, you see things and you're like, oh, I need to show people this.
Right.
Yeah. I'm always more on the side of like immediacy, you know? Right. Like I know I could polish it up, make it look amazing. I mean, it's going to look amazing anyway, but I'm always more like, you got to balance like what you want to do artistically with how quickly are you going to get it out and get it seen, you know? That's always my philosophy.
You actually, of all the people that I've talked to so far,
probably do the most diverse amount of biking. I mean, pretty much the only thing I don't see over there is a BMX bike. So tell me real quickly about those cherry bikes.
Well, they're made here in Lafayette. That's the best thing about it. They're all handmade. I actually got to help do some of the stuff on this bike. Got to miter the tubes. I made all the lugs, all these lugs down here. I got to cut all those and file them down and sand them down, and that was awesome. Of all the bikes, if I had to like get rid of them all, this would be the one I'd want to keep. This thing fits so awesome and rides so well that, yeah, that thing is very sweet.
Each style of bike was a single like geometry, or would he like customize the geometry, or how was it done?
It was like a suit. You were tailored for it. You went through a fitting. You usually came in, you did like an hour, hour and a half, and you took like, you know, all the measurements from here to here, you know, all the groin measurements, you know. Usually for every one of those custom cherry bikes, all those red bikes, each one was made for each individual. We didn't ever make batches of them. And that's a steel one. And that thing is incredibly beautiful. I love everything about it. The paint job is just immaculate. Internal routing on all that stuff, and it's all brazed. And the thing about brass is it makes it ride really, really plush. It's got a racing geometry, so it handles awesomely. And it also, another cool thing is it has a sloping top tube forward, so when you got it on the ground, it actually slopes forward. So.
And you work at an auto parts store, which I think is also really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, well, gotta have something that pays the bills. Can't work at a bike shop forever. So yeah, as far as the commuting thing goes, it's like, I'd spend so much money in gas. I only live, 10-15 minute ride to work. I mean, it wouldn't matter how far away I lived from work. I'd still ride to work. I'll commute to work, and then I'll come home and change, get my gear from my other bike, and go out for a long ride. And people are like, oh, I can't believe you ride to work. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm going out for a 40-mile ride after work. Riding to work is not a ride. Like, oh, well, you rode to work. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess I did ride to work, but that's not really a ride. That's just getting me where I need to go.
What are the additional benefits of commuting that you can share with someone?
Well, you get to see a lot of other stuff you don't see when you're driving in a car, that's for sure. I mean, like this morning when I went to work, it was just like so surreal. I had all this snow that came in last night, and it was so peaceful, so quiet. Everyone's on a 2-hour delay but me, and there's no cars. And everyone's like, oh, I can't believe you're riding to work. I'm like, I can't believe you drove to work.
So this is it. This was home, and as you can see, this is towards the end of the snowstorm known as Hercules. It's a mess, as you can see, but this is where I've been staying for the last month or so in Indianapolis. The next step is to go to Phoenix, where we'll be working with WeCycles, and it's been a fun time here in Indianapolis. Can't wait to be back. Actually, probably going to happen in March. Mike, why don't you go ahead and introduce me to yourself and the doctor here?
He's a Chinese doctor.
he loves cycling. He has been cycling for more than 8 years.
So you've done bike touring in China. Compare Chinese cycling to what you're doing now. And if you could, tell me some of the differences that you're noticing.
He think the cycling in USA, from now we're starting from Los Angeles until here, he thinks is the easiest.
Is it easier because of safety on the roads, or because the terrain, the quality of the roads? Why would you say that it's easier here than the rides in China?
First time it's not so how to tell, it's not so deep.
Steep.
So you like go up and
Yes,
down.
right.
It's smooth. It's smooth, not so sharp.
Right.
The second is people, the driver, they are quite well. They never drive crazily.
How do you see cycling in China and its popularity, and why did you pick up riding?
Cycling in China now is becoming more and more popular. More and more people love it. It's like it's booming. It's booming now. Cycling could not only do exercise, just good for health, but also clean your heart. So make you how to tell to be a good man, to be a wise man. Yeah,
And you should know you're a doctor, right? You're a heart doctor.
Yeah.
Show off. We're already friends with you. I already did.
Too. I'm not gonna let the fact that Angel likes it affect me.
I don't even know who this Angel kid is. I'm gonna see him and be like, oh, fucking A, duh.
Yeah.
It ain't hard to tell who's real, who's not. Where's everybody's tags at that are on fucking Roosevelt Road that are artists that are using spray paint or think that they're street artists? Where's their street art in the street art? These are the street art, these are like the main street art galleries, you know what I mean? These are straight yards. These are the galleries on the streets. And if you're a street artist and you don't have shit in a fucking yard where graffiti belongs, like, you're faking that shit. Forever faking it. You don't take it, you don't make it.
Dirty. Cindy,
Yes.
welcome to your palace.
I really wish you didn't have me in this shirt.
Oh.
I'm not even wearing my name tag
Really?
to prove that this is just why I do this.
Yeah. You love the look.
All the time.
You love the look.
Are you kidding? Of course. I'm out.
What's your thought on apathy versus stupidity? And I think that there are a lot of really smart people out there who are turning off even more to what the news has got to say.
It's difficult. Everything is so difficult and it's so heartbreaking, and we can't deal with anything. We'd rather change the channel. We'd rather skip to the next email, go to the next story, just not hear it. Like, why get stuck on this station when there's a feel-good station the next channel over?
We'll always like go off on these tangents of conspiracy theories because we live now. We were saying this yesterday. I was saying this yesterday to the guys that I think that part of our culture, like people are always in our circles saying, well, why aren't people out in the streets, demonstrating, talking, blah blah blah. Well, I honestly believe that our culture, as let's say, mid-30, mildly awakened, pseudo-intellectual, hippie dropout types, right? I think our culture is to talk about those things. And so sometimes we find ourselves in circles of like already converted folks. I've heard a couple of people here in Arizona talk about how the city of Phoenix may not be here in 20 years, this country, things like that. Have you formulated many feelings like that, or do you...
Well, it's always been a joke, such as, for example, Perrier and Spaceballs. That's happening right now, whether it's a joke in China or a marketing ploy or whatever, it's actually happening. So I've seen Superman, California about to fall into the ocean, that's what I keep hearing. maybe it will. Maybe someone will blow up the fault and they will fall off. Boom, then we don't have to worry about any citrus disease.
I think, again, we're a culture or a society, strangely, that sort of, like, what's that word? It co-creates with science fiction and media because it's so intrinsic, right? So ubiquitous to all of us. I think people would like laugh at you if you told them you didn't have a Facebook and be like, well, what do you do? How do you entertain yourself? How do you stay connected, right? Knowing full well, or not even remembering the days when they used to live life without Facebook,
It was like 10 years ago.
Right?
5 years ago. You couldn't get people to sign up for America Online and CompuServe and all that stuff. They had to give it a little CD mailer in everyone's mailbox. Hey, do this thing. Check it out. You need to be connected. And then finally people did. Now we're all connected. But we're all disconnected more than ever.
Yeah, we're connected to the web and the accessibility of information, or the access to information, but like detached from one another, for sure. Yeah.
Olive oil, onions, let me see what's going on in the kitchen. Now we cooking everything and no one tripping. Woo! Yeah. Pack another bowl, yeah. I'm talking Cheerios, yeah. Macaroni, macaros, yeah. Fuck a macaroon, I'm over here in your room. Macking like a Looney Tune, yeah. You gotta see me. Oh shit, I got the cheesy potatoes, greasy, never. You know I'm talking healthy, better choices for your mind and your living. Yeah, it ain't nothing. Chilling, grilling. Oh.
Talking healthy choices, dog.
My name's Emily. I'm a student at ASU. So we have a lot of bikealists down here, but my boyfriend's a big cyclist.
Bikealist. Well, maybe he's the first bikealist.
He's a bikealist.
What about riding to school? Do you live too far?
Yeah, I live too far. It would be too dangerous if I rode to school.
Yeah.
I live up 7th Street, so there's too many lights and too many crazy.
So it doesn't sound like you would say Phoenix is bike friendly, or at least in one sense of the word, it's not.
I would say a portion of it is, like if you're in downtown Phoenix
Okay.
and you're riding a few blocks, that's fine. But if you're trying to get from, North Phoenix to Central Phoenix or get to downtown, I would say you're taking a risk.
This one, arm out the car. Fucking maybe this one here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
A little bit. There you go. Boom. Yeah, there it is. Trade beer for spray can. Because you're not dose.
Alright.
You're fucking bum.
Alright.
Now spray.
Spray her. Don't spray her.
Go ahead, spray. Just a mist. Go, boom. Missed it. Boom. Done. Missed it. Hit it. There you go. Hit it. One more time. Barely. Down. Hold the spray can down. Yeah, like the 40. No, like the 40. Down. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Boom. Spray the car. Hit the car. There you go. Hit the car. Fuck that car. There you go. Fuck that car.
Oh, this is so fucking dope. Yeah, Greg.
That's not Greg. That's Dose.
Yeah.
That one. Get that one. Come on, get it.
Hold on.
Come on, the smoke. Get it. One more. What are we doing?
Or you guys get wet.
That's awesome, guys.
Bicycle. Chinatown. My eyes looking Chinatown. Cantaloupe. I got the E by the O. Cantaloupe. We riding old school. You couldn't see me. Fuck your Fixie. I'm riding dirty. I see you, Ma. How you doing tonight? Woo!
We're all going to the bicycle party.
Cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe. Oh no, I think I caught a flat. And so what have you built here?
This is a little micro urban aquaponics system, about 1,000 gallons with flood and drain beds filled with a grow medium called expanded shale, and also a deep water culture tank using air bubblers. Different plants will like different techniques for root development. Initially what we're trying to do is, all those little seedlings over there are basils and some mints, and we're going to do a urban basil farm about the next 4 or 5 months. Densely planted specialty varieties: Thai basil, lime basil, Mrs. Burns lemon basil, Napolitano basil.
So you're a lifelong cyclist. Now you're in Phoenix. You're about to set off on this tour of California. What kinds of things are you excited about seeing in California?
I'm gonna be interested in the colors, man, and the vegetation, just the open air, open sky, darkness, and then just rolling on into California, man. It's gonna be the city of lights. There's gonna be all the new kinds of ways to adapt to that city. I've never been there. I'm gonna hook up with some friends that I know on Facebook from art school and high school and stuff.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ride up the Pacific Coast Highway. One of my big stops is gonna be in Tassajara. That's a Zen center. I'm gonna check it out. There's me and my gear in the back of the sheriff's car. And
Hi, sweetheart. I'm getting my ride to St. Francis, Kansas now. Surprise, I'm not kidding you. See, everything's in the back of the trunk, and this is my friend Mike. He's gonna drive me there. Say hi.
Hi.
That's where I'm sitting. See all my stuff? I love you.
Is it fancy? Fancy.
As you can see, I'm in a nice vehicle here with all my gear. And there's the road behind me. The trunk's open. Thought you might kind of like that. See who's laughing now. I love you. There's my mouth guard, my grapefruit citrus chew toy. Tell Finnegan I love him. You should do something like this for people in Summit.
So how about a good story? Something about bike riding.
well, I like a band called Type of Negative, and they're from Brooklyn, New York. I've seen them like ever since they were Carnivore. And there's a song called I like to say no before I go on a ride. No flat tires. No flat tires. No flat tires. I forget the name of the song, but I'm working out of a song by Type of Negative on that one. And I just don't want to have problems with my tires.
Yeah, it's hard for me to believe that my time here is nearing an end, at least for this phase of the journey.
That's kind of a bummer, actually.
It is a little bit, but I think it's for me. It's I'm proud to like kind of stick to the, schedule.
The schedule?
Yeah.
You're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna go off and do the next awesome thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I definitely want to come back and learn more here, because I've learned a ton. Learned so much.
Yay.
About so many things.
Good.
It's been phenomenal.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey Don, how you doing, man? How you doing? Good to see you. All right, guys. Later.
See you, Manny. Bye.
Have fun.
Have a good night.
You too. Later. Later.
But check it, we bendo, that's why the trends don't fit them. The endo, not the Enza, Enzos with Nintendos in them. More like my tempo, Kempo, they simple, rock you see through. My shine reflect my mind and shrine my tempo, Machu Picchu. But watch me teach you how I built it, killed it 5 for 3-2. Shinobi, Loki, Logan, joking, they be going places. These rappers mostly okie dokie, but they Kobe faces. Be on that, hold me back, now homie, gon' get on and chase it. My hunger, thunder on they munchies, they snack food. They thirsty, dabbing, verse be whack as NBA tattoos. The fact is sad truth, pick up the slack for rapping actors that lack proof. Mostly sad to go spread a shack fool. Just dapping on the snooze button, bluffing on the standard time. Spit that shit kinda blind, I can't withstand the shine. I see the shorty need a hand, they hand a pantomime. Like ain't a man among them, understand the youth for standing line. They said it couldn't be done, this one's for moving them wrong. Seems only suitable, this beautiful wrong. Planted the seed beneath the street, but it was rooted too strong. Grew to the sun and called it beautiful wrong, come on. They said it couldn't be done, this one's for proving them wrong. Seems only suitable, this beautiful wrong. Planted the seed beneath the street, but it was rooted too strong. Grew to the sun and called it beautiful wrong, Me and Maker tired of waiting. He say to try to wake him out the state of cyber hibernation. Patient as I can be. Pacing this complacent land of wasted family. Popping wide awake and making bacon while the babies wanna taste the candy. Feeling Delta, dealing what they dealt them. Poker facing, no ace is handy. Sometimes to be a man is so demanding. The wind whipping sand in his sandwich to keep it moving though. No heat for she to cook, the meat is raw. It made her beautiful, baby. One day we'll sit around and spit about it. Figure it out for now. We'll try to help him get the demons that's in him about him. Either critical or hypocritical. Watching a full of in the pit is simply pitiful popping. It's a miracle that we can grow the street all on top of them. Those that with it hit the top didn't consider the bottom. Rotted cynical and sin spinning in cyclical problems. Ironic, those that like the winners don't got them, They said it couldn't be done, this one's for moving them wrong. Seems only suitable, this beautiful wrong. Planted the seed beneath the street, but it was rooted too strong. Root to the sun, they called it beautiful wrong. Come on. They said it couldn't be done, this one's for proving them wrong. Seems only suitable, this beautiful wrong. Planted the seed beneath the street, but it was rooted too strong. Root to the sun, they called it beautiful wrong. See the sun come up after the rain. The flicker flash, liquid tap at the frame. In the back of my brain, it's like a puzzle, like a maddening game. We'll sit back and have to laugh at the pain. We'll see the sun come up after the rain. The flicker flash, liquid tap at the frame. In the back of my brain, it's like a puzzle, like a maddening game. We'll sit back and have to laugh at the pain, They said it couldn't be done, this one's for moving them wrong. Seems only suitable, this beautiful wrong. Planted the seed